Today I present to you my 1979 Schwinn Mini Twin Tandem Stingray. This custom build was just freshly done this year. I build a bike for a local bike show pretty much every year. This was their 7th annual. Last year I did that lime green 65 Ray, and had to step up my game this year because I didn't take an award last year, but I did take an award with this year. I'm very proud to say I got a lot of attention. Some of my favorite comments from people were, you know, like, is that a prototype? Like, you know, some people thought it was the real deal. You know, that to me was some of the most rewarding compliments, because you know, the idea of building this was to build something that looked authentic to what Schwinn's taste would have been. And you know, it's very convincing looking. This was built from 2 Stingrays. I cut them in half and jigged them up, and you know, it was a tedious process to, you know, ensure proper alignment. You know, I wanted both bottom bracket heights to be the same height, and both seat mats to recline at the same angle, as well as that center brace that I had later added. And so special jigging had to be done to make sure the precision alignment was accomplished, and everything turned out great. This color really hit it on the head too. Real close to Schwinn's Radiant Copper Tone. This is VHT burnt copper. I added the speedometer. That's also a custom deal. And having these adjusting T-handles is a nice accessory. And having those front and back, I wanted to ensure that that could still work properly. So I did a custom bracket for the speedometer. And then that's got a little bump stop on the bottom. The seats were custom as well. The front was actually a small tricycle seat that was put onto a sprung frame, and then they were both upholstered in tuck and roll vinyl. Matching tags added on the back. They turned out great. I custom made the stem. I dug through all my stems and I decided on this one, and cut it in half and welded it to a seat clamp, and then there's a shim welded inside that adapts it to the same diameter as the post. And then I did these custom brackets for the seat post, the sissy bar, because I really didn't want all that loaded onto the bolt here. And when you step back and look at it, the straight up vertical sissy bar just looks more proper than having the sissy bar leaning inward at the bottom and having a pitched angle there. Full-size collegiate chain guards had been combined. You know, it took 2.5 of them to make this chain guard, and that turned out great. I'm real happy with that. You know, normally I would think that long of a curl over the Lucky 7 would look a little excessive, but on such a long guard it balances out and it pulls it off. One of the key things in doing this was of course having a proper flowing body line, which wasn't simply accomplished by using the girl's framework. I had taken, this is actually a down tube from a lady's 26 that then it fits the flow of the bike better. And then adjoining them here, it was important to have a lead off that looked factory, that gave that factory impression. You'll note that it's not welded on the top here, it's all welded underneath. because for one, you have to leave it not welded across that section at the top there, so that you're not welding the relief for the seat mast shut. But for two, because they didn't weld it across the top in the front, and it would have looked silly. So some steel rods were rolled on the belt sander to get a round look, inserted, welded in place, and then re-rounded off so that we get these nice ball tips that emulate the front ball tips on those arches, so that it's a nice consistent look of the bike throughout there. And then when you get underneath here, you'll see that it's fully welded. And then of course this tube actually had to be sectioned and shrunk to fit between there. So there was a lot more going on there than just slapping two bikes together. And then the drivetrain here, it's 3 Lucky 7s. We're running it dished out in the front to a dished out in the back, and then it's dished in to the rear. Everything clears and works proper. It's pretty rad. I think that pretty much concludes this video. Thanks for having a look.